Howdy doody everybody, this is Mrs. MacPhail and
Mrs. Gonzalez.
here with another great video, actually a sweet treat for you today. Your objective, I can make predictions using probability and data, or data, depending how you say it. First things first, we need to look at some vocabulary. Go ahead, Mrs. Gonzalez.
All right, why thank you. The first word we're going to talk about is random draw. Random draw is the same chance of being chosen.
Your next word is sure, meaning absolutely, it'll happen. For example, we are sure you will eat today.
And moving on to the next word, we have equal chance. That means it's fair. Example, you and I get the same amount of something.
And finally, more often or more likely, meaning a greater chance of something happening. For example, it is more likely you will see snow in winter rather than rain, at least in Minnesota. Well, it's Valentine's Day, and there's a lot of Valentine's Day parties going on. And lucky for Mrs. G, her friends in her room are so nice that they ended up walking around the room and leaving her some Valentine's Day candy.
I'm so excited about that. Look at all the treats I'm getting in my container.
Wow, Mrs. G, you are so lucky. Hey, say, making these math videos, I get kind of hungry.
Oh, you do?
I do.
You know what? Our word at our school is focusing on being kind. That's one of our school rules.
Oh.
So would you like to share some of my candy?
Oh, that's really kind of you. If I say, do you mind sharing, please?
Sure. I'd be
Oh.
happy to share with you.
Well, I'm looking at your snacks here, and I'm noticing that you have 4 pieces total, and I like to organize my candy when I get it. And I'm noticing that out of your 4 pieces, you have 2 Twix and 2 Whoppers, so the
I
same
do.
amount of each.
Yep.
You're very lucky. I'm wondering, if I were to close my eyes and randomly reach into this bag to make a drawing, I have an equal chance of picking out either a Twix or a Whopper.
You do, because you have the same amount of each. There's 2 Twix and 2 Whoppers.
Not anymore.
Oh, so you are going to eat a Twix, Mrs. MacPhail?
You bet.
Okay, so now I'm getting a little bit hungry, and I want a treat too.
Oh.
And I'm noticing now there's more Whoppers than there are of Twix. So I would have a more likely chance, if I reach into this bucket, I would have a more likely chance of taking a Whopper than a Twix, because there's 2 Whoppers and only 1 Twix.
And on the other hand, you'd have a less likely chance of picking a Twix because there's a lower amount of Twix in comparison to the number of Whoppers that you have.
You are absolutely right.
Oh, well, this is making me more hungry now. Oh, hey, Mr. Nutty.
What? Mr. Nutty came to our classroom?
How you doing, Mr.
Oh
Nutty?
my gosh, Mr. Nutty, welcome.
Hi.
Don't fall over. You're so excited.
Oh, what's this you have, Mr. Oh my gosh. Mr. Nutty, that's so nice of you. What are you doing?
Wow, I get piles more candy in my dish. This is the best day ever.
Oh, well, I know for a fact, Mrs. G, that Mr. Nutty doesn't like Whoppers. I don't know what's up with the other Twix. Maybe he's just feeling kind, too.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, look at that. Mr. Nutty's hopping away.
Oh, see you later, Mr. Nutty.
Bye,
Thanks.
Mr. Nutty. Thanks for coming.
That was really
Love
nice
the
of you.
candies.
Wow, what a nice guy.
Very nice guy.
Class act.
All right, well, I need to see what I have now. So I'm just going to organize this because I like to organize my treats so I can see what I have. So I'm noticing all these are Whoppers. So I'm going to put them all together over here.
Oh.
Look at that.
Wow.
How many Twix do I have?
2 Twix.
2 Twix
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 Whoppers.
and 6 Whoppers. That's a lot more Whoppers than Twix.
A ton more Whoppers than Twix.
You know what? For some reason, multiplication just popped into my head.
How's that?
Well, because I'm noticing that I have 3 times as many Whoppers as Twix.
How did you figure that out? Did you put them in groups or something?
I did. I'm noticing that there's 2 groups of Twix right here. Well, there's 2 Twix in a group. This is really one group, but there's 2 Twix in my group there. And if I put these in groups of 2, let me move them around so you can see, Mrs. MacPhail. Look at that. Now I have 3 groups of 2 over here of Whoppers and 1 group of 2 of Twix.
So let me get this straight. If I was feeling hungry again, which I kind of am still.
Oh, don't worry, I'll share with you.
Well, that's really nice of you. If I were to close my eyes and reach into this dish again, I would have 3 times more likely of a chance to pull out a Whopper now?
Yeah, that's exactly right. And look at this. Mrs. McPhail, if there's 2 Twix and I do 3 times 2, what number do I get?
That would be 6.
Oh, and look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I really do have 3 times more of a chance to get Whoppers
That's so cool.
than my 2 Twix that were sitting there.
Hey, thanks a lot, Mr. Nutty.
Yeah, thanks, Mr. Nutty. We love treats. We are done with our Valentine's Day party now. It was fun,
fun.
Everything good comes to an end.
Yep.
And now we're back in class, and I have these couple of problems here. And there's a bag off to the side. And in each of the bags, there's one on the top and one on the bottom. And in each of the bags, there's a blue block. What I want to do is think about random draw problems, and I want to add some red blocks to these bags. And when I add the red blocks, we're going to think about what are the chances of getting a red. What are the chances if you were to reach in that bag that you would get blue? So let's look specifically now at question number 1. Question number 1 says, if I wanted to be sure of taking out a blue block, I would put into the bag how many red blocks? Now think back to our vocabulary. Sure means something will absolutely happen. There can be no chance of getting red. I have to be 100% sure it will happen, then I will get a blue. So how many reds would I need to add into that bag? What do you think, Mrs. McPhail?
Well, I'm thinking that if you want to be sure of getting that blue block, you can't have anything else messing with that blue block. So to me, you can't put any red blocks in there.
You're absolutely right. I thought that would trick you, but it didn't.
Phew.
You got it.
Oh,
Good job.
good.
All right, let's look at number 2. If I wanted to have an equal chance of taking out red or blue, I would put in how many red blocks. So thinking again about our vocabulary, equal. Equal means it's fair. So 1 blue for you, 1 red for me. How many red blocks would need to go into that bag?
Well, if I was thinking about candy bars, if you had a Whopper and I had a Whopper, that would be fair. If you had a Twix and I had a Whopper, that would be fair. So as long as we had the same amount of something. So to me, if I just put in, oops, let's try that again, kids. If I just put in 1 red block, to me it's fair that I have an equal chance of picking out either a red or blue each time. So, in other words, I should just put in the 1 red block.
That's right, because if you were going to reach into the bag, you could pull either a red or you could pull a blue. There's the same number of red and blue inside that bag.
All right, friends, well, that's it for today. Make sure that you are making good decisions in class so you have an equal chance of getting that bear paw or bear pride. See you later.
See you next time.